الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الناصح الأمين. اللهم صل على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد، يا عباد الله، قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: أفلا يتدبرون القرآن أم على قلوب أقفالها. وقال جل وعلا: لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in His noble book what translated means: and do they not reflect over the Qur'an? And do they not reflect and ponder over the Qur'an? Or is there a lock upon their hearts? Also, Allah Azza wa Jal, He says in His noble book, if we had revealed this Qur'an, sent this Qur'an down upon a mountain, you would have seen that mountain crumble to dust and rent asunder due to the fear of Allah. Due to the fear of Allah. And thus we put forward for you parables, and thus we put forward parables to mankind, so that they may think, so that they may reflect, they may contemplate. Ya ibadallah, bi'ithnillahi ta'ala, we would like to look at and reflect upon the meanings that are found inside of two verses from Allah Ta'ala's book, and contemplate on them in a manner in which will produce benefit bi'ithnillahi ta'ala. And these may be verses that we have recited before. These may be verses that we have memorized. Maybe verses that we have at the very least heard before. But have we taken away and understood that which the Allama, the Imam Shaykh Uthaymeen, he explains? قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: ألف لام ميم تنزيل الكتاب لا ريب فيه من رب العالمين. Allah Ta'ala, He says what means Alif Lam Mim. Inshallah Ta'ala, we'll come to the next ayah shortly. Allah Jalla wa Ala, He says Alif Lam Mim. وقال العلماء الله أعلم بمراده به, that Allah knows best that which is intended by it. Allah knows best that which is intended by these huruf muqatta'ah, these separated letters. ولكن ذكر العلماء أن هذه الحروف الهجائية لها مغزى. But the ulama, they have mentioned that these separated letters, these letters from the Arabic alphabet, they have a significance. Whenever we see the likes of Alif Lam Mim inside of the Qur'an, as far as their meaning, Allahu A'lam. However, there is a significance, and we should know what is the significance. The Allama, the Imam, he says, وَهُوَ إِظْهَارُ عَجْزِ هَؤُلَاءِ الْمُكَذِّبِينَ بأن هذا القرآن من هذه الحروف التي تكونون منها كلامهم، ومع ذلك فقد عجزهم فهو لم يأتي بشيء بديل، إنما أتى بحروف التي تتركبون كلامهم منها. قالوا ويدل لذلك العلماء قالوا ويدل بذلك أنك لا تكاد ترى سورة ابتدأت بهذه إلا ويليها ذكر القرآن. Allahu Akbar. Shaykh Uthaymeen, he mentions, he says that there is a tremendous significance. There's a significance for these letters. He said, and it shows the inability. It shows the inability of those who belied the Qur'an. It showed them their inability to produce the likes of this Qur'an. It showed them how they were incapable of producing its like. Even one chapter of its like. They were incapable of doing such. Because this Qur'an, it is comprised of the letters that is utilized inside of their language. It was not that the Qur'an came with a new language, but it came with the same language in which their speech was comprised of, yet with that they were incapable of producing its like. So as to show them that that this Qur'an is beyond the scope of human ability. It's beyond the scope of the ability of jinn. It's beyond the scope of the ability of the malaika. It's beyond the scope of the ability of the creation. Because this Qur'an, kalam Allah, is the speech of Allah, غير المخلوق, and it's not created. The Shaykh, he says, but rather this Qur'an, it came comprised of the letters of the language in which they used to speak. He says, so thus therein, every time, the ulama, they say that every time you find these letters, you will find that after it is mention of the Qur'an. That after it you find mention of the Qur'an. As we have here in these ayat. Alif Lam Mim, Tilka Tanzil Kitab. Alif Lam Mim, the book that has been revealed. The book that has been sent down, the Qur'an. The Shaykh, rahimahullah ta'ala, he mentions, he says, in commenting on Allah Ta'ala's statement, Tanzilul Kitab, the book that was sent down, Al-Qur'an, meaning the Qur'an, Wal-Murad Bil-Kitab, هذه الفائدة لأهل اللغة. This fa'idah is for the people of the Lugha. Al-Qur'an wal-murad bil-kitab al-Qur'an. وهو فعال بمعنى مفعول. فعال بمعنى مفعول. فعال كتاب. مفعول مكتوب. هو فعال بمعنى مفعول أي مكتوب. وسمي كتابا لأنه كتب في لوح المحفوظ. وفي الصحف التي بأيدي ملائكة وفي الصحف التي بأيدينا ولهذا سمي كتابا. He mentions, and much of this will be lost upon the English speaking audience, but those who understand and benefit will understand and benefit. It is a kitab, but the meaning of kitab here, it means that which has been written. That which has been written. Because the Qur'an, it has been written inside of the Lawh al-Mahfuz. It has been written inside of the Lawh al-Mahfuz. And it has been written inside of the scrolls that are in the hands of the angels. And it has been written inside of the scrolls, or that have written inside the pages that is inside of our hands, meaning the Mus'haf. So therefore, it is referred to as a book. Therefore, it's referred to as a book. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us about this book, this Qur'an, and what our relationship with it should be, ya ibadullah. What our relationship should be with it, O believers. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, La rayba fee. There is no rayb. There is no doubt in it. Yani, the Shaykh Uthaymeen, he mentions, he says, meaning, يعني أن تنزيل الكتاب مؤكد ليس فيه ريب. He said that the book it came down, this is something that is well known and it has therein no doubt. There's no doubt about it. The book has been sent down from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then the Shaykh, he poses a tremendous question. He says, and I want us to contemplate on it and the implications of it and what it means to us in our lives. The Shaykh, he mentions, he says, وَهَلْ النفي هنا على باب أو هي نفي بمعنى النهي. He said, but is this where it says لا ريب فيه, is this here a negation that remains a negation, or is this a negation that comes bearing the meaning of that which prohibits you from something, a prohibition, meaning there is no doubt inside of the Qur'an, thus لا ترتابوا فيه, so therefore you do not have doubt in the Qur'an, have no doubt in the Qur'an. Naam. So which is the meaning? The Shaykh, he mentions, he says al-jawab fihi qawlan, that in the answer you have two statements from the ulama. فمن العلماء, from the ulama, من يقول, those who say إن النفي هنا بمعنى النهي. They say that here, that the meaning of the negation, it means to prohibit, meaning you do not have doubt in the Qur'an, meaning is commanding us, don't doubt the Qur'an. نعم. فمعنى لا ريب فيه أي لا ترتاب فيه, so meaning it has no doubt therein, meaning don't doubt it, do not doubt the Qur'an, don't doubt the Qur'an. نعم. وبعض أهل العلم, and some of the people of knowledge, يقول, they say أن المراد بالنفي حقيقة, that what is meant by the prohibition, it means the reality of it, meaning والمعنى أن هذا القرآن ليس فيه ريب, that this Qur'an, it doesn't have any doubt in it, there are no doubts inside this Qur'an, there's no doubt in this Qur'an. نعم. And what is implied, and what is the takeaway from that reality, that there is no doubt inside of the Qur'an, is that what? وَإِذَا لَمْ يَكُنْ فِيهِ رَيْبٌ لَزِمَ مِنْ ذَلِكَ النَّهْيُ عَنِ الرَّيْبِ لأنه إذا انتفى الريب في القرآن فلا يحل لنا أن نرتاب فيه. He says it means is that since there is nothing doubtful, there is no doubt in the Qur'an, and that doubt, it has been prohibited and doubt has been removed from the Qur'an, then thus therefore it is not permissible for us to have any doubt about the Qur'an. Naam. So the Shaykh, he mentions, he says وَهَذَا الْقَوْلُ أَبْلَغُ, he says in this statement, then it is more reaching, it is more expansive, it covers more, it is more comprehensive. Why? Because from the second we understand also the first. The Qur'an, it has no doubt in it, there's no doubt in the Qur'an. Ya ibadullah, it is incumbent for us to understand this and to believe this and to apply this to our life. There is no doubt inside of the Qur'an, so therefore don't doubt it. There is no doubt in the Qur'an, so therefore do not doubt it. When it comes to يعني في jumla, generally we will say yes, there's no doubt in the Qur'an, we don't doubt it, no way. That's the statement generally. Naam. But I want us to remember this when it comes to specific aspects of our lives, because the Qur'an, it gives us guidance on how to live our lives. The Qur'an, it gives us guidance on positions and stances we ought to take, and so on and so forth. So when issues come up inside of our life, when there are stances to be taken or not, and a Muslim wants to know what is our stance as relates to this issue, what is our position as relates to this affair, then we have to look back to the Qur'an, knowing that what? That there is no doubt inside the Qur'an. So when we find the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't doubt it. Have no doubt and or hesitation as relates to it, because you know it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know it is from Allah's book wherein there is no doubt, so therefore don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. Be firm upon the truth, no matter who goes against you, no matter who contradicts you, no matter who comes at you. Go and stick to the truth and have no doubt. Have no doubt and know that what you're upon is the haqq, that what you're upon is that which is right. So when you find anything from the two revelations, meaning the Qur'an or from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, don't doubt it. Have no doubt, because it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the truth, and you will be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for sticking to that truth. And you will be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more so if you are harmed due to sticking to the truth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will reward you for whatever harms and tribulations you go through when sticking to the truth. But stick to the truth because it is from the Qur'an, and there is no doubt inside of the Qur'an. So do not doubt it. هذا أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولجميع المسلمين فاستغفروا فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. يا عباد الله, this Qur'an is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is incumbent that we acknowledge that, and that we know that, and that we stick to it. Allah Jalla wa Ala, He tells us that He has sent down this book, the book wherein there is no doubt. Min Rabbil Alameen, and has been sent down from the Lord of the Alameen. وَرَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ الَّذِي خَلَقَهُ, the Lord of the existence, the one who created the mankind, jinn, and all that exists. The one who owns it. The one who He arranges the affairs. وَالرُّبُوبِيَّةِ, the Lordship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, تشتمل ثلاث الأشياء, it will comprise and it covers three things: الخلق والملك والتدبر. That Allah is the creator, Allah is the owner of everything, and Allah is the arranger of the affairs. This is very important, ya ibad, to know that Allah is the arranger of the affairs. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. When we say this, and the Prophet ﷺ told us that this is a treasure from the treasures of Jannah. Ya ibadallah, when we say la hawla wa la quwwah, there is no how, there is no change of situations. You understand? There is no change of situations. If a person gets sick, that situation of sickness will not change into health except by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the one who will bring the cure. Only Allah can bring the cure. When a person understands this with a good understanding, then it will be illustrated in the application of at-tawheed al-uluhiyyah. So all of his ibadah will be for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when someone comes to him and they say, but make dua to wali so and so for your mother to get better. Make dua to saint righteous man so and so for your son to get better. The individual, he will know, la wallah thumma yani la. لماذا؟ لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. There is no might, no power, no change of the affairs, except that it belongs to Allah. So why I'm going to ask this one when He has no power over anything? He doesn't have the power to benefit nor to harm. لا ينفع ولا يضر. He can't harm or benefit even himself except by Allah's permission. So why I'm going to ask this one, miskin, ajiz, for what? لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. All of this is linked and understood. Why? From the Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the creator. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the sustainer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the owner of everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the one who arranges the affairs. So who are you going to ask when they don't own anything? They haven't created anything. They don't have the power to do anything, not to themselves, let alone others. Except by what? Except by Allah's permission. Except by Allah's permission. Ya ibadallah. Inside of that is a great benefit and a great lesson for those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed to understand this fact. وَقَوْلُهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ, in Allah's statement, عَالَمِينَ. It's important we know this. This is Surah Fatiha. We all know an ayah that has this statement in it. So we should know what is the word, what does this word mean? Al-Alamin. Mal murad bi or biha. What is the meaning of this kalima? Murad bihi ma siwa Allah. What is meant by Alamin is everything other than Allah. Everything other than Allah. That is the Alamin. وَسُمِّيَ مَا سِوَى اللَّهِ. And I want you to understand this point, ya ibad. The reason that other than Allah has been named Alamin is because that other than Allah, Allah's creation is what? Alamun. It's a sign. It's a sign. نعم. لأن علم على خالقهم. It is a sign for Allah. You understand? Everything other than Allah is a sign which points us to Allah's existence, Allah's majesty, Allah's power, Allah's capability, so on and so forth. All of this is a sign of Allah's greatness. Allah, Allahu Akbar. وَمَا مِنْ شَيْءٍ إِلَّا فِيهِ آيَةٌ وَمِنْ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى تشهد له بوحدانية والقدرة والعزة وغير ذلك. Everything has a sign. Everything has a sign. You know that a camel was there due to the signs that is left inside of the desert. You know a camel came by here. You see the footprint, you see the droppings, so on and so forth. You know a camel came through here. The signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what we see. The sun, the moon, the oceans. Look to you and yourself, you will find signs in our creation, how we created our different systems in our body, our different biological systems, and so on and so forth. All of these miracles. These are signs that point to what? That point to the fact that Allah is one, and He is the only one who deserves to be worshipped. It points us to the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see how big the sun is and how powerful it is. You can't get close to it, you burn up and all this type of stuff. This is nothing. Allahu Akbar. It's nothing. Allah is greater. It's nothing. Allah created it. So all of these things point us to the sign of Allah's power, Allah's majesty, that nothing has the right to be worshipped in truth except Allah. It points us to Allah's ability, to Allah's izzah, and other than that. This is what we understand from this, ya ibad. وقوله, and Allah Ta'ala's statement, تنزيل الكتاب لا ريب فيه من رب العالمين. يعني أن تنزيل الكتاب من الله عز وجل. Allah's statement that this is the book that has been sent down, there is no doubt in it, from the Lord of all that exists. It means that this book, it is from Allah. The Qur'an, it is from Allah Azza wa Jal. La ishkal fi. There's no doubt in that. No doubt in that. Naam. فَلَيْسَ قَوْلَ مُحَمَّدٍ. So it is not the statement of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The Qur'an is not the statement of Muhammad, of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It's not the statement of Muhammad. وَلَا قَوْلَ جِبْرَائِيل. It is not the statement of Jibreel. It's not the statement of Muhammad. It's not the and it's not the statement of Jibreel. وَلَا قَوْلَ أَحَدٍ من الخلق. It is not the statement of any created being. بل هو من رب العالمين وحده. But rather, it is from Allah alone. It is from the Lord of all that exists by Himself alone. Ya ibadullah, there are some takeaways that we take away from these two tremendous verses. The first of them is that the Qur'an al-Kareem لم يأتي بجديد. That the Qur'an, it did not come with a new language. but rather it came with the letters of the Arabic language in which the people they speak with, so as to show them their inability, because they cannot produce its like. And we understand that from Allah Ta'ala's statement, Alif Lam Mim. Also, this Qur'an is the speech of Allah Azza wa Jal, and we understand that from the second ayah, Tanzilul Kitab La Rayba Fihi Min Rabbil Alameen. And that the Qur'an is the speech of Allah Azza wa Jal, and thus Allah Ta'ala, He has connected it unto Himself Azza wa Jal. So therefore يقتضي أن يكون كلامه. So thus it means that it necessitates that this is Allah's speech. This is Allah's speech. Thirdly, إثبات علو الله. We also understand from it the highness of Allah Azza wa Jal, because Allah Ta'ala, He says Tanzeel, that He sent down the Qur'an. وَالنُّزُولُ لَا يَكُونُ إِلَّا مِنْ أَعْلَى. And coming down, and only something comes down from something that was high, something that was higher. Naam. So by Allah Ta'ala telling us that He sends down the Qur'an, then this is an indication that what? That Allah, He is the most high. Allah is the most high. Also, إثبات أن القرآن مكتوب. It also has in it the affirmation and confirmation that the Qur'an has been written down. And this is in Allah Ta'ala's statement, Al-Kitab, that the Qur'an has been written down. We understand this from Allah Ta'ala's statement, Al-Kitab, مكتوب فعال على يعني بالمعنى مفعول مكتوب. Fifthly, تأكيد أن هذا القرآن منزل من عند الله, is that it is an affirmation and it is a confirmation and of that, and a reinforcement that this Qur'an, it is revealed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, been sent down by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we see this in Allah Ta'ala's statement, La rayba fi. There's no doubt in it. There's no doubt in it. Sixthly, إثبات الربوبية لله عز وجل, is the affirmation of the lordship of Allah Azza wa Jal. ربوبية الله عز وجل لجميع الخلق, that Allah is the Lord of all that exists. Everything that exists, Allah is its Lord. And this is in Allah Ta'ala's statement, Rabbil Alameen, the Lord of all that exists. And seventhly, al-ishara ila anna hadha al-Qur'an mulzamun bihi jami' al-nas. It's also an affirmation that this Qur'an, it is binding upon all of the human beings. All of the human beings, it is binded that they live their lives according to the Qur'an. All of the human beings. وَتُؤْخَذُ مِنْ قَوْلِهِ تَعَالَى. And this comes from, it is taken from Allah Ta'ala's statement, understood from Allah Ta'ala's statement, تَنْزِيلُ مِنْ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. That which has come down from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that which has come down from the Lord of all that exists. فَإِذَا كَانَ رَبُّهُمُ الَّذِي أَنزَلَهُ. So if their Lord is the one who has sent down the Qur'an, فَمَعْنَا أَنَّهُ يَلْزِمُهُ جَمِيعًا. Then this means that it is binding upon all of them. It is binding upon all of them. الْعَمَلُ بِهَذَا الْقُرْآنِ, that they act and they work in accordance to this Qur'an. So it is upon all people that they are commanded to work in accordance to the Qur'an. Those who believe and they fulfill this command, they'll be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And those who disbelieve and they turn away from implementing this Qur'an, then this will be from the long list of things in which they will be punished for. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those who benefit from the Qur'an, to make us of those who contemplate over the Qur'an, to make us of those who contemplate and who benefit and who live their lives in accordance to the Qur'an, to make us of those who are serious about studying and we don't let a day go by except that we looking and reading and contemplating about the Qur'an. هذا يا عباد فاقيموا الصلاة.